Yo, what is up, you guys? Little Stocks Bro here. I am back. It's been a few weeks, but I'm back to give you guys your weekly update on my options account. I was out for a few weeks. Two reasons. Number one, Alibaba was pretty stale last week, so that's why I didn't make an update video. And then also at the end of the week when I usually make the video, I had just received my second dose of the Moderna shot, and I was like completely out of it. I felt terrible, but I'm fully vaccinated now, and I guess there's just a nice little reminder to get your vaccines if you haven't yet gotten it. So last week, or that was 2 weeks ago, this past week that just occurred, was a slightly more eventful week for me. And for Alibaba, it trended slightly up, and we ended the week at around $12,560, up $448 on Friday. And if you take a look back at the video I made 2 weeks ago, we ended we ended that particular week at around $12,700. So yes, that means in the past 2 weeks, the account has actually gone down about $200, give or take. It's because Alibaba has been really trending sideways for the most part, relative to how insanely volatile a stock like Alibaba is. Yeah, for the last few weeks, it's been taking it pretty chill. It's been more so consolidating, but that doesn't mean that I haven't been doing anything. I've actually been making plenty of moves in the stock, flipping short-term contracts for cash, averaging down shorter-term contract positions, and buying longer-term contracts for November. So I'm going to show you guys that now. Well, let's take a look at my position on Alibaba. All right, so Alibaba is at $219.14. That's what it finished at on Friday, up about $2 that day. So it was a pretty decent day. If we take a look at the monthly, it's been slowly trending upwards. It hasn't shot back up immediately, but it's been slowly trending upwards and to the right, and that's actually exactly what you want from a stock. This is exactly how you want stocks to move. In a second, I'm going to show you guys Xpeng. You guys know I was in Xpeng before, and show you the difference between how Alibaba's moved and how Xpeng has moved, and which one do you actually prefer to be in. So if you take a look at the lowest lows, the lowest low was about $205. Then after that, it 210, and then after that, 210.30, 211.14, 211.74, 212.74, 213. The most recent low 216.50, and now it's pushing back up again. So the question is, will it create a higher high? It has also been creating higher highs. So 212 was the high there, 214 was the high there, 216 the high there, and then 220 the high there. So the next week is going to be a huge week for Alibaba. Can it create a higher high? If it can, then the uptrend continues, and that'll be beautiful. It'll be beautiful for Alibaba, and it'll be really beautiful for my account. It'll allow me to get rid of some shorter term positions that I have. And then if not, well, the question is it going to continue consolidating sideways, or is it actually going to go back down and retest 205? That would be absolutely terrible. But all right, let's look at my position real quick. So we have 11 contracts. We have contracts that range from July. We have this one July contract that we have left. This is a short-term contract only meant to flip for short-term cash. We have a few August ones. We have a few September ones, quite a few September ones. We have a few October ones, and then most recently I bought a November one. So as Alibaba is, in the lows, below 220, below 230, especially if it goes back to 210, 205, I will continue to buy longer and longer term contracts until I eventually get to 2022 contracts and beyond. Once I can get those contracts in, it'll be smooth sailing from there. I won't have to worry so much about flipping constantly. I can just, let Alibaba do its thing, buy as I can, and I'll have the opportunity to hold. So, 11 contracts. We have a value of exactly $12,000 for this contract, $12,001, up $448 today. The total return, though, we're down $8,600, so about 41% down currently. For contract, if it were stocks, if these were shares, you've made a terrible investment. However, contracts, it happens like that. They're extremely more volatile, so you could be down 20%, down 40%, down 50%, 1 month, and then maybe the next month you're up 50%. Don't forget that it was only, I think, in May, early May, late June, early May, late April, where the account was sitting at 30K. At that point, I think we were up 50% on all our contracts. So this month we're down. Last month, May, we were down 50%, and now June, we're gonna have to see what happens. So far, June started off pretty nice ever since ever since the low for Alibaba. It's like I said, it's been trending upwards into June. And so we'll see what June has in store for us. I believe that June will be a good month, especially if next week we can start out off green and Alibaba can end the week above $220. That'll be a really nice month for us, and it'll really allow us to get back on track for Alibaba. But what I want to show you guys real quick is I want to make a comparison between this chart for Alibaba and the chart for Xpeng. So if you take a look at this Alibaba chart here, you see it's slowly trending up the way I showed you. Well, now let's take a look at Xpeng. Remember, Xpeng was one of the stocks that I held. It currently sits at $37 per share. I sold all of my positions on Xpeng at $24 per share. If we take a look at the monthly on Xpeng, look at this difference, guys. It went from $23 to $37. It went from being down 20% on the month to being up 30% on the month. That is an extremely huge move. If you took a look at the 3-month, it's basically just shoots right back up. It makes a V-shaped recovery, right there. So the question, this is basically what I want to break down to you guys. First of all, it hurts. It hurts because I did have plenty of contracts in the stock for 2022 even. I was very close to finishing my position on Xpeng, and to sell basically at the bottom and then have it, go up 20-30% the following weeks. It is painful, but it's okay. There's plenty of opportunities in the stock market. I'm happy in the position that I am now with Alibaba. I believe in Alibaba more than I do with Xpeng. If I had to be in just one, I would choose Alibaba, and so that's why I jumped over to Alibaba when I did. But that's not the point. The point that I want to make clear to you guys is that Xpeng is an extremely volatile stock. It went from $22 per share at its low to now $37. That's a $15 move. Alibaba is a $200 stock, and it went from $205 to $219. That's basically also a $15 move. So Xpeng made the same move that Alibaba made, yet Xpeng is worth however many times less than Alibaba. Xpeng was a $20 company, while Alibaba was a $200 company. So Alibaba 10 times more valuable in terms of share price than Xpeng. They made the same move. So that is indicative of extreme volatility in Xpeng, and that only happens when there's extreme hype in a stock, when there's a lot of hype and a lot of manipulation in the price movements. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. Whenever you get into a stock like this, you don't want to be in a company where the share price is being directed by hype or by any external factor other than the intrinsic value of the company increasing over time as the company grows its profits and revenue. Now, I'm not trying to bag on Xpeng. I'm not saying it's a bad company. I'm not saying not to invest in it. It's a really good company, and I think it has a lot of potential in the future. That's why I was invested in it just a month ago. I'm just saying, I think this was a good opportunity to point out to you guys the difference between how different companies move within the stock market. A really good example of this is AMC. I mean, let's just take a look at AMC. AMC was big news last week because of the movement it did. So it went from $31 to a high of $66. I think it actually hit a true high of about $70. It'll tell you if you come down here. Show more. Yeah, here we go. So 52-week high, $72.62. If we go back to the beginning of this year, back in January 20th, 2021, this AMC was worth $2.20. So you can see over here the huge move upwards it's made since then. My question to you is, would you guys consider it to have been a good investment if you would have bought at $2 and rode it all the way up to $60? Well, it's two different types of investing styles, okay? In my opinion, that's not actually investing. What you want, at that point, it's basically just gambling. You want to try and stay away as much as you can from stocks that move like this, because just like how many people made a lot of money on the upturns when they bought at 3, sold at 19, a lot of people the people that sold at those levels, the people who bought at 3 sold at 19. People who bought at 19, when it came back down to 5, got murdered. They got killed. I know some people that did that, and they lost thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, relative to whatever their account is, I'm sure some people lost millions of dollars. Typically, millionaires don't do this. That's how they stay millionaires. But, people with lower accounts are the people who typically tend to, get into stuff like this and end up really hurting themselves. So, a lot of people did buy around the $9 range, $10 range, and then boom, look, it went to 62. A lot of people sold. A lot of people bought at 62, thinking, "Oh, this is a GameStop part 2. It's gonna go to $200. It's gonna go to $300." And now it's sitting at 43. So you bought at 60. It's at 43. It's already down 33%. So you're down 33% on your investment. Boom, just like that. You guys gotta take that into consideration. Now, this is, of course, in a super extreme example. Xpeng is the more moderate example. But basically, the point is, do you want to be in a stock that it's going to move due to volatility and hype, or do you want to be in a stock that's going to move slower but surely or more guaranteed over time based on how the company's performing? All right. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. It's a nice little update for you guys there. I touched on Alibaba, I touched on AMC, I touched on Xpeng, and I touched on my thoughts moving forward. So I'll see you guys again next week. The plan is still to just make one video per week, especially while Alibaba is low and not much is happening. If something crazy does happen, I'll make another video. Maybe I'll make 2 videos a week. But for now, 1 video a week is like where my head is at. So I'll see you guys in the next update next week. Peace out, guys.